Hey guys, hope you're doing well. My name is Basil and I'm the marketing manager of VP Wholesale. And today I've got with me Dustin, who is the founder of VP Wholesale. So hey Dustin, how are you doing today?
Good, Basil. I'm doing very well. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. All right, so
Excellent.
Dustin, let's start with what VP Wholesale is about, its origin, its vision, and its mission statement.
All right, perfect. So VP Wholesale started in 2022, early in March. It started out as an OA business on Amazon. Basically, we went into Amazon thinking that we wanted to scale and become a private label business. I met you probably about 8 months ago,
Yeah,
and we were scaling the private label business or thinking about that, but also at the same time doing the OA, getting our
yeah,
feet wet with that. And then soon figured out that Amazon wants you to be a wholesaler in aspects. They want you to become a distributor. They want you to go out and find brands and become distributors on their platform.
yeah,
OA is there's a lot of barriers to entry. Amazon is okay with OA sellers. They appreciate them. It's a big part of their market. But eventually, in Amazon's software algorithm, they're always trying to push you to get better as a store owner, and that is scaling up to a wholesale philosophy. Now we still have the private label in our eyesights, but wholesale was just something that came really organically for us because we had the team built for the OA, and we started to get basically the constraints of scaling really hurt us where we could only buy 10 or 15 items. So
yeah.
then we wanted to go ahead and start to we were finding great products, but we wanted to go find distributors who could give us more of those products.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Amazon does encourage that, you should transition from online arbitrage to wholesale. There are a lot of problems attached with online arbitrage, and that's why, we try to transition from there to wholesale. Coming back a bit, I also wanted to talk about that you already have got multiple businesses, including a Bitcoin mining business, including a storage business, and multiple businesses, which, we discuss a lot. So when did the idea of Amazon come in and why Amazon?
So obviously in 2021, we were running our storage business. It was something that then Bitcoin was taking off. So we were starting to really excel our company. What we did with our storage company is we ended up being next to a major power source. So we scaled up a Bitcoin mining facility on our storage facility, basically making an industrial data center is what it came out to be. So about late 2021, we finished out that data center, which was we were mining about 2 Bitcoin a month at that time. So it was very lucrative for us. And it's quite passive, to be honest with you. Once you get the data center set up, it's there. You just got to maintenance the computers. So then I was very interested in the Amazon world, the e-com world, because it was so fast growing, and there's so many major returns. Very similar to Bitcoin, to be honest with you. You could set up a system and reap rewards long term for those systems.
Yeah,
For example, if we set up this data center in Bitcoin, created the Bitcoin, held the Bitcoin long term, it would gain value. That's always something that I've honed my business acumen at, creating value and long-term equity in a business. That's why I love storage. We built the storage with, on our own. It's 310 units in Fargo, North Dakota. It's 100% full. It's something that carries a lot of equity, and it's a sellable asset. Along with the Bitcoin, it's something we create. We create the Bitcoin. We hold the Bitcoin. It's a sellable long-term asset that we can hold on to. Now, creating an Amazon store is another great avenue that's just come about in the last 5 to 10 years. Is creating these Amazon stores, creating a system that's in place, buying and selling certain products, pushing it to your store, and creating an equitable asset that you can sell down the road long term. That to me is the perfect business model. I think there are other business models out there that people just get stuck in because they don't think about the long-term equitable asset. They think about, hey, I'm really good at this. This is what I want to do. And that's great. They found their gift, and I love that. But also learning how to leverage that gift into something that can be leveraged later on because it's gained value is super important to keep your business afloat. Really, there's only so much cash flow, but eventually you have to go to the bank to scale and to show the bank that you have produced something that's cash flowing and it's growing in value according to the bank's terms is super important. If you create a business on Amazon store, it's just like a brick and mortar store. If you can create $10,000 worth of revenue, bring that to the bank in a profit loss statement from a tax perspective, that bank's going to look at that as just like any other business. But I tell you what, with the e-com store, you can scale to $10,000 profit in 6 to 12 months. Where if you were mowing lawns, that's very difficult. One, because it's hard to find labor in the United States to find that type of work. And it's hard to find clients, and it's very time consuming. You have to drive from spot to spot. That's why e-com is so great in my mind, because the scalability is so quick if you're doing the right processes.
That's great. That's great. That's a great talk. Great business acumen as well. So that was great to hear regarding how did you start this Amazon business, and also the workings which you had in your mind before it. So tell us about the initial difficulties which you faced, because you previously talked about online arbitrage as well. I want you to tell about the difficulties in terms of building a team, also in terms of building a business model and sticking to one. So currently, of course, we are doing wholesale 80% on our store. It's just 15 to 20% of arbitrage. We just try to find best opportunities, just capitalize on them. But we are very strict regarding the products which we are shortlisting. We do not go with every product which gives us profit. We study multiple metrics. So talk us about those initial difficulties, because of course at that point of time, you were not that much technically sound enough, which you are right now in terms of Amazon. So what were the difficulties faced by you, and how did you manage to overcome them as well? That's very important.
Sure. Yeah. So getting into Amazon, of course, all the gurus make it sound so easy and it's going to happen overnight. And to be quite honest, anybody who tells you that is lying. The truth is it's very hard work. It's early hours. It's weekends. It's nights. I remember many a times bringing my computer to anywhere we went on the weekend. So I always had access to doing research, making buys, communicating with the team. But a lot of the major difficulties that we had early on was your barriers of entry. I think that Amazon requires you to do to become a seller on their platform. They're not eBay. They're not a Shopify store. Yeah. They're their own software program, their own algorithm. So they created a digital space where someone could learn to run a business. It's almost like a training program is what Amazon software does. So there are barriers of entry. One of the major barriers of entry right away is being gated, and hazmat items, big brands, and aerosols. All these things come in time. As you sell more, Amazon allows you to become involved with selling those products. Now, there are other difficulties in selling those products, like how to ship them, losing shipments, gating items that you think you're ungated because Amazon said you're ungated, but then you buy them and then all of a sudden you're gated again. So there are always restrictions that come and go with Amazon, but it's for the greater good of the business itself, and making sure that Amazon's a platform that people will always go to and always go for what, if they need something, they're going to go to Amazon for convenience and reliability. As far as, again, going back to the difficulties early on, I would say that setting up the systems is extremely difficult. Setting up the team, getting the team on board to how you want to run the business takes time, training, and then being resilient when things aren't going necessarily your way. If you buy a product, it tanks, and you think it's a perfect product, you always got to go back, and you got to just have nerves of steel knowing that, yeah, we lost out on that one, but we're going to find another one. Cash management's always huge as well. That's a big deal. Trying to bring in more cash flow, either with credit or partnerships or line of credits with banks. So I don't know if you've seen the orange bars that people get when they show off their goal, their wins, I guess you could say. That actually does not. There's a caveat to that. If someone were going from 5,000 to 5,000 to 5,000 increases, and they suddenly jump to 10 to 20,000 increase, they don't just do that with the product. There's an injection of cash at that moment. It's either a credit card, a credit line, or an investment from an outside investor. That's the caveat that I don't think people understand. Because if you create a flow chart where someone starts out with 10,000 and they slowly move up, there's only a certain percentage that Amazon's going to pay you back. And you can hit home runs, you can hit duds, but it all evens out. The goal is to get about 20% ROI. It will slowly grow, but when you see those big jumps with those bars, those big jumps are credit lines. And then also on top of that, we don't know exactly what that person is losing with those big bars. Is that a profit loss bar? No, that's just a sales bar. So there's a lot of times, even early on with me, where I made a bunch of sales, but we were having struggles with losing product with OA, cancels from the retailers understanding that we're OA sellers, so purposely canceling and then purposely not refunding our cash. So there's a lot of legwork and logistics for, say, 10 items for $150. And when you lose $150 there, $150 there, it adds up and there goes your profit for the month. So that's one of the biggest difficulties with OA is the logistics of taking care of each product order, which is only going to be $100 to $200 order. We use software to track it in the long run. CheddarSoft is a great product, great software. The thing was that every week we had to reconcile 2 or 3 products. Reconciling means that it got canceled, lost, or never sent. In the meaning, like, it didn't get canceled, but it never got sent. So that's phone calls to the credit card companies, that's phone calls to the distributor or the retailer, and that's phone calls to the bank if you're using a bank credit card or a bank card. So the scalability is very, very difficult with OA if you're not extremely organized with that process. And that's why we moved to the wholesale model.
Yeah, that's true. Because when you hired me, I remember that you were the one who was also managing these accounts. And with the management, when I made a whole report that what are you currently doing and where we need improvements, the very first improvement which I figured out was that you were being too involved into the business rather than looking at the business from a bird eyes view and managing the business and strategizing the whole business. So that's why, you did not have free time. And if I would have asked you, because we were hitting even good numbers, this was like 30-40K of revenue just from online arbitrage. And if at that point I would have asked you that, okay, let's triple that number, let's 3x that number, practically with that kind of involvement, it would have been impossible because you were spending hours and hours each and every week. And with all of the hustle, it would have been impossible with OA. So that's why, we tried to transition to wholesale, but meanwhile, we also tried to hire a team and fix them at certain spots where they were the ones who were now managing the business, and you were the one who was now looking from a bird eyes view that what was their performance, and that basically resulted in you having more time in your hands to strategize the business. And that's where a real win was. So talk about building up a team as well, because I know that a lot of sellers struggle in this point, that building a team is one of the most daunting tasks to do. You have to go through a lot of trial and error, and I personally know that you also went through a lot of trial and error as well. So tell us about building a team, if someone wants to build a team and someone's stuck at that point, what should they basically do? Which platforms to look out for? What do you suggest that, what to look for in a person while hiring a team? And also talk about that, how did we manage to build a team that we have right now?
Yeah, I guess going back, if I were to do it all over again, starting up, first and foremost, I prefer Upwork. I think Upwork's a better platform. There is Fiverr. You can find talent on Fiverr. There's no doubt about it. I prefer Upwork, easier payment method, easier way to find the talent that I would want to start out with. Don't always go for the cheapest talent. Go for a mid-range talent. Go with somebody that knows that they're worth what they're asking for. Sometimes that takes some interview process. But once you do that interview process, do a Zoom call, do a Google Meet, and meet with those individuals to make sure that they're on the same page and the same acumen, and kind of think long term. And then with that, if that's a managerial type person, that's the person you want. You don't want to be necessarily managing everyone. You want to hire someone that's going to be more or less a partner instead of an employee, especially one of the first hires. And they have the same vision as you. So as you move forward, you guys can collaborate on who can get hired long term for your business. And a lot of times that manager that you're hiring in their region has other employees or other people in the industry that they know that they could bring on board for your team that they know and trust. So it's a great way, instead of searching for everyone on Fiverr and paying the cheapest amount, not, a lot of times you get what you pay for in every industry. So if you could go out and find a manager like yourself that has connections in the industry, you're going to fast track your business
That's yeah,
3 to 5x in my mind.
that's great. And I remember when you hired me, the initial difficulties that we were facing, we tried to fit in each and every person in that role. And currently, they've been doing great as well. We have a good team, a big team that, we will later talk about, which is doing quite well in their domains. And that's another important point as well. From a managerial point of view, I would always suggest try to find out the strengths and weaknesses of a person. If someone's, for example, very great at sales, they should not be hired to, for example, vet out sheets and for product research, because they're a great salesperson. If someone's great at vetting out sheets, if someone's great at, spending hours and hours doing analysis of different products, they should be the ones who should do analysis, So it's very important to make sure that you are fitting the right person at the very right spots. So moving on with this, after, we achieved some numbers, let's talk about building a distribution model. So an initial idea of distribution model was also that we had cash in our hand, but since our accounts of we had products in our hand, sorry, but we did not have that much cash to spend on. So that's why, we initially moved on to distribution model. So talk more about how did we move on to the distribution model? How did we build it? And how did we build a supplier base as well?
Yeah, it was a goal of ours to become a wholesale store as we operate on Amazon. It's just that we felt the easiest way to scale. There a lot of times the distributors now basically do all the prep work. They send it off to Amazon. You cut out couple steps there with how the distributors work these days. There's a lot of distributors out there that help out Amazon sellers that are specific to Amazon sellers. So now going out and finding those was our goal at that point. So when we started getting more product than when we bought a product early in the week and extinguished all our funds on those products, which we thought were really good, and then by the end of the week we were getting better product, that was the time where we were like, we need to get more cash, we need to get some clients involved and get a piece of this pie, because we've created this system where we have this pipeline of product coming in and this relationship with the suppliers, but we couldn't capitalize on all the product. What we did to get those relationships was a lot of hard, tedious work. It was not easy. It was a lot of phone calls. It was a lot of, we traveled to Las Vegas, to ESD to meet suppliers and distributors, a lot of brand phone calls, a lot of no's, but the tenacity, getting deeper and deeper into the business and getting deeper into the market, you find more and more opportunity. So there's a lot of closed doors along the way, but those doors open if you continue to work hard. We've created the system now with those doors being open to cut out all that time and work for our clients. It's not easy, it's very time consuming, and it costs money to get those doors open. In fact, there's a lot of times where you could potentially send cash out to a supplier that you just started doing business with, and it's a new supplier, and you honestly don't know what to expect, because there's a lot of great players in the game, there's a lot of mediocre players in the game, there's a lot of shady players in the game. So you have to do very good vetting, you have to do contacts, you have to do calls. We have a 3-step process that we do with our vetting. We do a background check online, we do emails, and then we do a phone call with every one of our suppliers. If we don't get that, we don't buy from them.
Yeah, that's true. And one important thing with building a supplier base, especially from online suppliers, is also that we also encounter lots of scammers as well. A lot of supply. We also lost a good amount of cash while buying those products, or we were also misquoted the lead times, etc. as well. So we were misquoted one shipping time. We got a very different shipping time. So those were the initial difficulties which we also faced with distribution. So currently, what we have built is a very streamlined, smooth distribution system. And after we built this system, this was just a few months ago. After we've built that, we wanted to move on to taking clients and managing their stores as well. So something which we have done, we've already faced those difficulties. We have also resolved them. We have managed to overcome, I think, 99% of the problems which we have faced. So that's the kind of service which we also wanted to provide to other people as well. So that's why we took on 4 stores which we started to manage. So talk about those 4 stores which we have on a automation agency, and what are we doing with them as well?
Okay, so yeah, as we came up with the distribution and started going out and contacting clients who needed product, we also encountered that there was a market out there for people who necessarily didn't want to be involved with running the store, but they wanted an asset. They wanted a growing business in which they could plant some cash and get better returns than, say, the stock market. We're looking at 10 to 20% ROIs per month for our clients, which is a market that, once you explain what Amazon can do, there's a lot of individuals that find it very enticing. So what we did is when it was organic, we offered the products, but then we had some individuals say, hey, you want to run our store? It's a lot of time constraints. We know you got that team. You've built the system. Is there some, and you've mastered the software that Amazon has put out there. So is that an opportunity for us? That's what they're asking us. And we took that challenge on. We felt that we were doing fine with our store. We knew what we were learning. We were learning every single day, getting 1% better. And we were ready to do that. We took on those stores and we implemented our systems, which took, 8 to it's been about almost 12 months now after it's all said and done. We've implemented our systems into their stores and just got them running right away. Something I told myself the other day, and this is just looking back, if I could have went back to my future old self and said, Dustin, you could hire somebody for $800 to $1,000 a month, invest 15 to 20K that first month. They're going to make sure you're not losing money. They're going to make sure you're not losing product. They already have a system in place with suppliers. They know what's gated and not ungated. They can get you selling hazmat. They can get you selling aerosols. They know how to increase your storage limit. They know how to take care of IP claims, seller reviews, returns, all of that. which took months and months of grueling training to learn. For me, I mean, my wife was so sick of me staying up late and working on weekends, but I had to do it to learn it. If I could go to somebody and say, hey, I have $1,000 or $800 a month, 800 to $1,000 a month to pay you guys, so you can take my 20,000 bucks today, invest it into an Amazon store, and make 10 to 20% off that each month. That's a better market than the stock market, and I can just let you run with it. I would be fully okay with that now, knowing all what we had to go through to get to this point. In fact, I'm a little jealous of that person. In the same aspects, running stores is really fun in my mind. It creates a lot of equity. It's something that we can do. We can go out and train somebody to do that. We've created a catalog of videos on how to get things done that we use for training for our own employees. Something that we can do for clients as well if they want to run their own store, which I see that. I mean, someone who's making $5,000 to $6,000 a month in their job can certainly replace that in probably 6 to 8 months with the right investments and be a stay-at-home worker. You basically a digital nomad. If they want to just get up at 7:30 and start working for the day and lead their team like I do from anywhere in the world, they certainly can do that. There's a lot of benefits in that. You can travel anywhere. You can go to we do a lot of vacationing at the lake in the summertime. I can bring my work with me. I enjoy that when everybody's doing stuff on their own. I like to go and work with my team and devise ways to get better in the business. There's a very big advantage to that, but there is a caveat too. You have to be able to schedule out your time and make sure to. I have a family, so you got to make sure to be able to be present when the family is there. But there's, like I said, the business never stops when you own an Amazon business. It's always selling. It's always creating. You're always trying to get better and creating something of great value. The long-term goal is to create a business that's cash flowing, $10,000, $20,000 per month. That would be the long-term goal for my store. That's the goal that I want to get a client. Now you can go ahead and take that store and value it at about a 24 to 36x of whatever profit you're making. So if you're making $10,000 a month, you have brand deals, you have product that you exclusively work with, you have a team set up of virtual assistants. You can go on to Empire Flippers, which is a website, and sell that website or that business to another prospective investor or prospective business owner, all set up, ready to go. So we would be happy to do that for our clients. Like I said, we set up the catalog of training videos. We can set up the virtual assistants to run those stores, and we can create a business that an individual can sell down the road. Now it's a 1 to 3 year time frame, or probably 2 to 3 year time frame is maybe a time where you might want to exit. Maybe you don't want to exit. Maybe you want to keep that store long term and just have residual income coming in all the time. It's up to you. It's up to you how far you want to take it. It's up to you how much money you want to make per month. It all takes a little bit of cash injection, and it takes some management. But from there, we can take it and we'll communicate with you and make sure that you're on the right path to make sure that your store is successful.
Yeah, just adding another point to it, when you were talking about goals, one of the goals which we also, put with our agency was that our goal with serving clients. So our goal with serving clients, it's the first and foremost is that we sort of under promise and over deliver. And this has been with the 3 stores that we already have as well. And that's one of the main reasons why a lot of people are, pretty much willing to go with us, because when a client came up to us and he asked us to do 20 stores, because we did not have the capacity at that point, we just immediately rejected him. We said that, no, we cannot take 20 stores right now. We can take 3 stores, but not 20 stores. So he gave us 4 stores. And, that's how we started our automation agency. And this is, what we want. We really want to continue as well. We do not want to take off more stores than we can get. We want to take limited number of stores, but provide them with exceptional customer service. If they are confused about anything, just convey it to them. If they want to know that what's going on with their account, why are we selecting a certain product? We are here to provide them technical knowledge. We are here to provide them with the financial knowledge that we have. And this is personally what I believe in as well, that give things, pretty much openly, openly share your knowledge, openly share it, because that will only add up more value to it. And that is what we have also achieved as well, that when we shared our knowledge quite openly, we got something of great value in return from the other person as well. That is my own learning, while working with you and while working as an individual for the last 3 years almost, right? So just adding up to it, and another question, the last question with you is that, if, because right now multiple people are doing Amazon, someone who is listening could be a freelancer like me, someone who is listening could be someone who just wants to start this business from the scratch, someone could be somewhere where they're stuck with the team, someone could be where they might want to build a distribution model for themselves as well, right? Because they have achieved what they want to do with wholesale. So that's why we try to cover the whole journey. If someone's at any point in that journey, or if someone's at the start, what would you suggest them, and what are the services and what is the consultation which we can provide to them, so they can be some, like what we are right now, and even better. That's what we pray for the other ones as well, that we also continue to grow. But if you've got that much amount of connections, you should even grow ahead of us.
Yep.
That's a mantra which we believe in.
Yeah, like going back to, if I could have went back to my old self and offered this service, I would have paid, because of the money I lost early
Yeah.
on, not knowing the process, not knowing that I was going to get cancels in OA, not getting ungated, losing product, organizing. It takes a lot of time and money involved in that first getting off base. Credit cards that you could use to leverage that are the best. What kind of cash you need to bring in, what the gurus are really trying to sell you,
Yeah.
what the good ones are, but the truth is having a good community, having a good support team that sees the vision along with you. You're only as good as your 5 best friends,
Yeah.
and you're only as good as your 5 best friends who run Amazon stores. So we're here to be your best friend in running your Amazon store. You can ask us questions. We're willing to consult with you, let you know what we've done in the past. We offer that service. We offer a service in which you can pay. I think we're charging $1,000, and we'll have a consulting service in which we can feed you videos on a step-by-step process and how to set up the stores and how to get moving on your own, and trying to get your feet wet and do the right things and setting up a wholesale business. Because I think that's something that everybody will want to do, is because that will create some great value. Now there'll be some OA involved as well, and we can teach you the best stores to get from, and where to get ungated from, and how to, and which items you could use to get ungated from. It'll all be in real time. So if there's questions, we can help you out with that. Now, if say down the road you decided that, hey, it's not running the store personally, it's not for me, it's taking too much time, we can waive that $1,000 cost, and then we could take over the store for you. It would be $800 a month, and then we would continue on with the store. It would just, we would need a commitment of $15,000 to $25,000 of cash injected into the store, so that we can get it to where we know we can get it. We know that number is key. It's hard to get to the point where you can start to make some major cash with just say 10,000 or less. With credit card fees, there'll be of course there'll be a payment to us to run the store. So there just really isn't that much margin left over for the customer. So that's why we suggest 15 to 25K. And we also suggest that it be liquid cash, something that you can wire money to, so we can get the money to the suppliers quickly. And then also it saves you on that 3% credit card fee. Now you can do a hybrid model where you have 15,000 liquid and $10,000 in a Amex Platinum cards, which is what we use, which is a great credit card. It holds you accountable, making sure you get it paid off. But every time you pay it off, you get an increased limit, and it's a great card. It's got a lot of travel benefits as well. So if we had a customer come to us today and say that they wanted us to run the store after say the 1 or 2 month of consultation that we gave them for the $1,000. We waive our enrollment fee of $3,000. They're on board. They're now part of our squad. We will get them set up. We'll start running their store from that day forward, as long as the commitment's there long-term with that cash.
Perfect. Perfect. The last question, if someone wants to start from today and, start with the consultation, or start with, consultation, or, start from the scratch, this business, how should they contact VP Wholesale? So, talk us about that as well.
Okay, so the best way to do this would be go to our website. It's VP-Wholesale.com. On there, you can join our Telegram group and also chat with us to set up any time where you can do a meeting with us, a Zoom call, and get started with the services that we provide. We do 3PL, which do prep service. We also do the consultation, which would be training you through the process to get your business off the ground. And then we also run the agency. And we always have a free distribution list, Telegram group, in which you can buy products wholesale from us, which is of great value for you. We update that daily. So products coming through our system that we pass on to our Telegram group. And if they want to purchase it, we'll get them in the system and we'll get the product out to them quickly. So we are filling up fast. We have a team of 10 currently with our agency. We're always growing and we're always training. We're always trying to get better, but we can only take on so many clients. We did sign a big deal today, so we're looking for another 5 to 10 clients at the moment. This is January 17th, so they will fill up fast for our agency business. As far as our consulting business, how many do you think we have spots available for that?
I think not more than 15 to 20.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we try to limit ourselves because we don't want to, like you said before, we don't want to overpromise.
Yeah.
And underperform. So this is something that we're growing fast. This business is growing fast. E-com, Amazon, the world is always changing. I'm not going to say it's easy because it's not, but there are some great margins to be made and you can beat the stock market. All
right, man. Well, thank you for your time. It was a great interview. Enjoyed that a lot. Always enjoy meeting with you. And so if anyone of the viewers wants to connect with us, I'll be leaving out the website in the description. You can check it out. It's vp-wholesale.com. You can join a Telegram group. We can also act as a supplier for you, as a wholesale supplier for you, as a consultant, and as a VA to manage your whole Amazon store. So that was about today. And thank you for your time. Thank you for the viewers for joining with us as well. Have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.